It goes well.
And, as always, for some reason the stream doesn't start until about 10 seconds. And hello, I am the Twitcher. This is another stream by me, but today we are joined by the TWITCHFAM. We got Jared, we got Brightblind, and we are going to do a music talk. We're going to talk about 5 albums. If we could each only have 5 albums, and they were the only albums we could listen to for the month of January, what would they be? We're going to try and do this every single month, January, February, March, April, May, all the way through. But we also want to end the month with an if you could only pick 5 albums for that month forever. Never, in the month of January, you don't get to listen to any more albums but those 5. We'll talk about that. But let's get started. Let's get into it. This is an interesting one because I feel like genre is going to be a lot wider than it was with the December one. Because when we did this in December, we were like kind of focused on like somewhat depressing music.
Yeah, and we were also like focused on like, I don't know, I feel more on like a specific kind of.
Well, yeah. Like, I think we are probably a little different when it comes to, like, the mood that you would select for December. I think most people would be, like, joyful and this and that. We are more, like, depressing and sad and just a little, like, downtrodden. Like, Nebraska was an album thought for this month, for, like, December a little bit.
That was, like,
pop that shot. Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, and just January is kind of, I feel like for me, like more fresh. Like, you know, it's kind of like, it's kind of more downbeat, but it's kind of like, I don't know, uprising as opposed to.
Do you think there's like a genre? Do either one of you think there's a genre that fits January, or do you think
experimental?
It's like experimental fits January. I wasn't expecting him to say. Wait, do you have one that you like think fits, or do you think that it's too hard to put one?
It is like really hard to put one, but something that does stick out at me is like Nordic like Viking music.
Nordic Viking music. I mean, we are in winter, so that does kind of make sense.
Like bands like Wardruna and like Skald. Like
Wardruna and Skald. Okay.
I really feel like that's the kind of mood I'm feeling.
All right. That makes okay. That's interesting.
I was somewhere like Wardruna, like almost like a lot in January for some reason.
There's 2 albums that kind of come to mind pretty quickly when I think of January, and especially this January. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. It's definitely one that's like very, like there's something about like a new beginning where you're like, oh shit, what's been happening this whole last da-da-da-da-da. And it's kind of this beautiful recap of time in one song through emotion, which is great. And then you have that whole album that just kind of expands upon that song. And I think it works really well. And man, it just screams January to me. The other one is For Your Eyes Only by J. Cole. I think a lot of people view it as maybe his weakest project. I disagree with that completely. I think it's conceptually probably his best project. Not his best project, but conceptually his best project.
Maybe, yeah, I could see that.
And there's something, again, about growth, change, and new beginnings. And I feel like that's something that kind of rings into my brain when I think January. And maybe it's because of the bullshit around New Year's resolutions or anything like that. But that's kind of what... Those are the first 2 that I'm like, oh man, I think those have to be on it. Do you have any ones that like immediately pop to your mind when you think January?
I mean, you gotta have at least some Bowie in there because January is his birthday, and he did die January 10th. And we always do his discography since he died for like a while. So like if I had to pick one album right now from Bowie, it'd probably be Outside because like that's my like favorite album ever made, and like
favorite album ever made. Outside by Dave Bowie. All right.
And like I just like hear that album like the most every time, especially when you hear like his discography. I'm like so excited to hear that one, and I just like love that album.
I like that a lot, and I'm actually one of the other ones I'm thinking is Hunky Dory, so that one might be in there. But we should, I think this might be something for us to do as well. Whole discography, 1 a month. You remember when we used to do like 6 a month? Let's do 1 a month, but then let's talk about it. Let's talk about our favorite. Let's talk about our least favorite. Let's talk about the ones that we really enjoyed, and like the ones that we would recommend to people who like different kinds of music. So like if you're more folk, you're definitely gonna lean Hunky Dory. Or what's the other one that you would kind of put in there?
Space Oddity.
Space.
Or Man of Words, Man
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah. But like if you're more into like punk, you're gonna listen more to what do you guys listen
A
to?
good
more?
punk
Yeah.
January album. Definitely The Germs.
The Germs?
That's like one of my favorite punk albums ever. And I don't know. It might just be because of like, I don't know, like something about it just really like puts me in like a winter mood of like just like, kind of like writing. It's empowering. It's very like, like upbeat. Like, I can take on the rest of the year and just, I don't know.
Okay.
Perfect.
I actually don't really know that much punk. Actually, I know a good amount because I mostly listen to like the punk that's not really punk, like the pop punk rock type stuff.
Yeah. Like new punk.
Yeah.
Like what Green Day shifted into and then led the way for a lot of these like pop punk, Birth of Scene Kid, Sum 41, stuff like that. Oh man.
But I love Sex Pistols, so.
What's your favorite Sex Pistols song? Do you have a favorite one?
Probably.
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. I'm gonna tell you I don't have one.
I have one.
You have one?
Holidays in the Sun. That's a good one.
Holidays in the Sun. Okay. Oh. You know what might also? These are mites. I have it. The only. I don't know. I think Marvin Gaye is definitely going to be in there. But Sublime 40 Ounces to Freedom, kind of for some reason, I should be more May, but like in my brain I'm like January, because it seems like it's getting warm, things are getting fun, but my brain I'm like January, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean I probably have music something like that. Sublime's always been more. They've always been more like a summer band to me.
Yeah, but I kind of feel them for January. I don't know.
That is never wrong, Tim.
I don't know. Are there any people, like artists or albums or genres that like you're like, man, this is like beginning of the year, this is new, this is like what I'm jumping into?
Well, like Brightblind over here said, Bowie too. I also listen to Bowie every single January, so.
I think I'm gonna start doing that with you guys because I do Tupac every single June.
I would love to do Tupac every June.
We can do Bowie every January, Tupac every June, and then again this could be like a cyclical thing where we do this once a year. Where we talk on here and like see if we think the same thing as last year for like our favorite Bowie or our least favorite or why it's changed, and then you get to see like growth and development in the body of work that is Bowie or is Tupac or is whoever it is. What do we got?
Old Fashioned Rage.
For him? I don't think he'll like it. Do you like gin?
I don't think you like maybe.
No,
maybe.
he's not gonna like that at all.
I don't think I like an old
Then you
fashioned,
F.
honestly, but.
I did what?
You F.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You died for a second.
Oh, sick. I died. Wait, Stream died for a second. I apologize, Stream. I didn't know that we died. I'm watching and there's no signs of death here, so maybe it's the connection out there, or maybe it is the whole stream. I'm not sure. So if it died, I apologize. We apologize.
Back to business.
I feel like She and Him might also be one that's kind of, it's like winter. But like winter in the not so depressing way. So that one, like, I'm thinking a little She and Him maybe, but I also don't know if I'm flipping to January. I don't know if She and Him will get
I
more
heard She and
spot
Him
on this.
a lot more in the summer, actually.
Same, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Oh man, the guy that I picked for If I Only Had 5 Albums in December, one of them was Paul Baraboo. I think I'm saying his name right. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. He only has 3 projects, but they're all like wintry projects. They're all nice and short, but they're short in a good way, and I like that. I might also throw a Townsend Zant album in here. I just think that, like, beginning of the year is also kind of like a country vibe.
Country.
I feel like I listened to more folk, blues, country, jazz in the like fall and winter, and I feel like I listened to more like alternative rock, rap, like true rap, not just hip hop, and stuff like that in the summer. Like and maybe punk more in the summer. But like as soon as it gets cold, I'm shifting for some reason.
Now with the cold, I want like I don't know. I'm always want like a more loud sound because like I listen to like I don't know when it's cold. I listen to a lot of metal like a lot, and it just like usually puts me like a loud thing. And like although I will say I do like to like have like I also listen to a lot of like folk too around this time too.
I feel like that means I need a Bob Dylan album on here.
Ooh.
Bob Dylan might appear on almost every single month for me because I love Bob Dylan.
Oh yeah.
I love Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan's so good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, one of the best.
I mean, like Blood on the Tracks is almost a perfect album. I put the oranges where the spices were before. It's like Blood on the. Oh man. And then.
Tracks, yeah.
Bringing It All Back Home, Desire. I mean, even like some of it's just like early, even like his self-titled album.
Yeah. I love the Free Willin'.
Free Willin''s great. Is Free Willin' what I put on last one?
Yeah.
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 I put Free Willin' on last one. What up, P-Ho? We're talking about music. I apologize if you don't know about it, but we're going to keep talking about it through this whole stream. We're talking about...
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I said Happy New Year to you on New Year's, but Happy New Year. We're talking about the 5 albums. If we could only listen to 5 albums this January, what would those 5 albums be? Do you guys have any that you're sure on? Because I'm sure on Marvin Gaye.
I'm sure on the Bowie.
I'm
one,
picking
sure,
a
yeah.
Bowie too, but I'm not doing outside. I would probably do. It's tough to just pick one.
I know.
It really is. But it's just one for January.
That's true, yeah. It's
Is
just
he-
one for
You're
January.
going to do it for everyone?
I'm gonna go with Low.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Low is the start of the Berlin trilogy, and I feel it's a lot more like the feel of it's just a lot more cold to me, which
Especially Subterraneans.
is especially Art Decade.
Yeah.
Like they're just like those they're like instrumentals that paint like the picture of cold. Like honestly, like a lot of them do.
Yeah. I think for some reason, even though January is often the coldest month, I often view it more so as like, which is weird that I'm saying this because I don't feel like I've ever actually thought this, but sitting down and making myself think, I think it lines up. Yeah, absolutely. We have been for a long time. I didn't know. Oh, lots of emojis. Thanks for all the emojis, Tiho. I often think about like rebirth, newness, change, and I think like that to me cements Hunky Dory in there.
Yeah.
So I feel like Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, and Hunky Dory by David Bowie are definitely in my list. For You Guys Only is that's a hard maybe. I'm curious how many Cole albums I'm gonna get because I had Revenge of the Dreamers 3 last
Oh
month.
yeah.
I'm curious how many.
When it comes to January, I'm like really into like an alternative mood.
Okay,
Like,
so
I like hardcore and alternative and like experimental stuff.
who are we talking about? Anyone?
Like, and I also like Jared said, I also listen to folk a good amount too. And like, if I could name someone right now, I'd probably have to go with Gabrielle Aplin because her like early stuff are more folk, but her new albums are more pop. But like, out of like, they'd probably pick English Rain, which is the most folk, her like best album I think, and like it's very folky and like, it's just like screams Gabrielle Aplin to me.
Who's Gabrielle Aplin?
Gabrielle Aplin.
Never heard of her.
She is she's like a folky, like she originally started on YouTube
Okay, a little YouTuber.
and like just
YouTuber
did
music.
like piano and like stuff and everything and like cuz I
So,
remember
like singer-songwriter piano.
Yeah.
Which is her. Okay.
I remember like when I was like 8 years old and just like watching her on YouTube and I love the Never Fade EP. That's a good one too, but she's like but like her newer stuff, she's leaning towards more of like a poppy synth sound, which is still pretty good, but I don't think it's as good as the folk stuff.
That's really fair. That's really fair. Oh man. That's fair. Yeah. I'm sitting here trying to think of a Bob Dylan album that I would really, really want. Also, P.O., yeah, I'm sorry to hear you're sick. Bob Dylan album, like Desire to me is like March. Desire feels very March to me. Bringing It All Back Home, like I feel like that is kind of like this conclusionary thing. It doesn't feel like a new thing. Like it feels like it was wrapping kind of that sound and like perfecting it. And so that one's kind of that's a hard one for me as well. And it leads me to maybe putting Blood on the Tracks, but I don't know. Maybe Planet Waves.
Blood on the Tracks is more summer for me. I feel like.
No, I think Blood on the Tracks is more
Cause like
it's like June.
I mean, that's fair, but yeah, I just want to hear Blood on the Tracks like a lot more in the summer, but that's just me.
Fair enough.
I feel like I might put Planet Waves in February. Cause I don't think I'm gonna put it in January. I'm leaning Blood on the Tracks for January, and I'm also actually thinking of putting Clipping self-titled album in there. I love Clipping. If you have not heard Clipping, vocalist David Diggs kills it. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's weird that I'm already somewhat coming to near decisions on January, but like it's not the every January.
Yeah.
It's just this January,
It's just this
and
January.
that's not that much time. It's a month.
Yeah.
It's only a month. If I could only listen to these for a month, I
It would be
think
fine,
I'd be
yeah.
fine with that. So I'm not worried about it. You guys kind of only have like one or two, so I'm gonna get more water. You guys keep talking about what albums, like if you, the albums that you're gonna stick on. Talk about the genres. Talk about like what stands out to you and what you're looking for.
Alright, well, as I said earlier, I always like to listen to Wardrina in January, and I like all their albums so much, but I am going to go with the second album, which I am not going to try to pronounce, you people, because I don't know how, but I love that album a lot.
I listen to like you definitely got to keep Bowie in there, and like I still sticking it outside, and I listen to like a good amount of like Paris in like 1975 in January, and I'm just like really in like a kind of synth alternative mood a lot, especially in January, and like so. My outside's there, and like I think I'm gonna probably stick with English Rain by Ged Roblin because I like hear that album a lot more when it's cold.
Yeah.
But another one that comes to mind for me is probably Bare Trees because like it's like winter just started and like it's like all the trees are bare obviously, and like I just like just feels like nice and like wintry and like a good fresh start to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's like one of the early Fleetwood Mac albums. I gotta like really revisit. It's a pretty good album.
I like love that album. Yeah, I think it might be. I don't know. I want to say that's like probably.
You're making me want to put Then Play On in mind. That sounds like a good.
Then Play On's a great one. Yeah.
Like a good January album.
I'd rather hear Then Play On in like the spring though. I feel that's more of a spring
That
album
album's
for
good
me.
all year.
Yeah, you can always hear that album. Yeah. And
then I think, I don't know, if I was to do, I said I did like, like loud, like I do like loud, like more metal music. And, I guess I'll stick with, I'm gonna go, This is a tough question. Ask me one thing. So I'm gonna go. I'll go Black Sabbath. I didn't do Black Sabbath the last month, and
I keep on thinking about like fucking like Blizzard of Oz.
Blizzard of Oz.
Oh, yeah, I need that. Yeah. It's not my favorite Ozzy album, but it's still really good.
It is. It's not my favorite either. It's actually my second least favorite '80s one. But that's not fair. All of '80s albums are like perfect.
Oh
like,
yeah,
near
yeah.
perfect.
You can't beat No Rest for the Wicked or Dagger from Madman for me. I like love those two albums.
North of the Wicked's my least favorite.
Really, I love No
I
Rest.
would not go with
especially with
North.
like Fire in the Sky. That song's amazing.
Song is, that's a great song. I mean, I love that album. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I love all the other ones more because '80s Ozzy's like perfect. to get back on topic of now do I want to do a solo Black Sabbath on solo? That is the question.
What's the question?
The question is, I decided I was going to do a Black Sabbath album, and he brought up Solo Oddity. So then I'm like, should I do Solo Oddity? Should I do Black Sabbath? I think I'm sticking to Black Sabbath. I think
What Black Sabbath album?
I am going to put on. I think I want to do Paranoid. I think it's got to be Paranoid. Paranoid is.
What's the big hit on Paranoid? I've listened to a ton of
Paranoid
Ozzy,
has
but
the three biggest hits. It has Iron Man, it has Paranoid, and it has War Pigs.
that's a stacked album.
Yeah, and
It's a stacked album.
and those aren't even any of the best songs on it. So yeah, I'm going with that one. Mostly, that outro, "The Fairies Wear Boots." That's like one of my favorite outros, like on any album ever. And I just feel like the high you get after like hearing that, just play that, and like, oh, what am I gonna do now? I've heard that great album. It's very like empowering for the beginning of the year.
Empowering for the beginning of the year. Okay. Oh man. You know what? I'm also thinking.
Huh?
You know who's one of my favorites. He's one that I often feel gets underappreciated for some reason or forgotten maybe. Bill Withers. Beautiful,
love
beautiful,
Bill Withers,
beautiful
yeah.
Bill Withers.
Yeah.
His first album, it has a more upbeat vibe than what's going on, but there's a similar feeling I get from listening to it. And it is kind of beginning of the year, but I don't know if it sits in January, if it's more like a February or March. But it's definitely like beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's a self-titled album, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's Bill Withers by Bill Withers. Grandma's Hands is one of the best songs ever recorded. Man, that's a doozy of an album, but that would take potentially clipping out, or even potentially For Guides Only, which I mean, maybe it is more February too. I don't know. It's
For
it's
Your
a hard-
Eyes Only is actually probably my least favorite J. Cole
I-
album.
It's a common thing I hear.
Born Sinner, I
don't
love
understand
Born Sinner.
that.
That's my favorite.
Born Sinner has a lot of good songs. It is a garbage album. It's one of those things where it's like a mixtape. It's more like
That's
there's
true.
just like a lot of incohesive things, but it's also
not like in the next three.
It's not like the next three. It hits very differently. The next three are very consistent. They're just clean. They are what they are. Born Sinner, I think, is him realizing what level of success he's going to hit. He's already done well with Friday Night Lights. And then you kind of have this, oh, what do I do now? And I think he tries to do everything because it's New York rap, it's West Coast rap, it's South rap. And that's not necessarily a bad thing when you're thinking of a cohesive album. I think I don't know. I understand you loving it. But I mean, I'll defend For Your Eyes Only every day of the week. I think it's J. Cole's best project, hands down. But I like concept, especially concept albums that aren't just driven by like a sound, where it's more like a topic concept. I just love them. I love them all.
Speaking of rap, you know who else I listen to a lot of in like January?
Who?
I listen to like a lot of Kid Cudi.
Mm.
I love Kid Cudi, especially in January.
I could see that. I'm not a huge Kid Cudi fan. I think he has a lot of good songs, but I don't love Kid Cudi, so Kid Cudi probably will not exist anywhere on my list. But
I feel like
props to Kid Cudi.
Indica's probably a good one.
Ooh, yeah,
It's like very experimental, like rap stuff, and like
Mhm.
it's like perfect for like trying new things, especially like since the New Year hit and everything. So like you want to try everything. I'm like, I got New Year's resolution stuff, so I'm gonna try this and that and like everything. And like, so I just think that album just fits like perfectly.
There's a little Kid Cudi in there. All right. When you say experimental rap, I immediately think, oh my goodness, Danny Brown. I immediately think Danny
yeah.
Brown. What is that album? What's the one album?
Atrocity Exhibition.
Exactly. I'm not saying I'm not gonna put it on probably on any mind either, but like that's another one. Like when you say that, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Danny Brown.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny Brown, what have you been doing? I'm down at the market. That's probably exactly what he would say.
Yeah.
You're like, what fucking market? Ralph's! And he just shouts at you like that. So, I feel like it's a pretty spot on Danny Brown. I haven't heard Danny Brown talk in a while, and I think it's weirdly close.
Yeah. Like angry Danny Brown.
Angry Danny Brown. Ah! Yeah.
We got. I think on the thing of going
everybody, it made me think. My mind went to Kanye. And I'm like, Kanye's very good for January. So,
I mean, yeah, okay.
I think I would go with. I'd put Yeezus in January.
Yeezus?
Yeah.
It's a great album.
I'd go with that. That I could totally listen to that for this January because I feel like it's kind of takes you on adventures, ups and downs and stuff. It's kind of like how you feel reflecting on last year, and it ends on a happy note.
Is Bound in Yeezus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the last song.
That's right.
happened.
Yeah. I just want to be sure. Oh, Bound. That is a happy.
I
note.
got somebody that none of you guys really listen to actually, because Jared didn't really care for them, but
Who got?
one of my ones probably the self-titled 1975 album.
I've never heard the
Because
1975.
it's very it's about growing up and stuff. So it's it has a very evolving sound January and reflection on your childhood and stuff like that. And it just really puts me in a nice January mood and I listen to it.
Okay. Real quick, is the 1975 for you what the Killers was for us?
The Killers were really good.
Killers were really good.
I've heard the 1975 be compared to the Killers and even the modern day Radiohead.
Okay. I don't stretch that shit.
That's what I heard. I'm not saying I agree, but
I don't even like the repeating.
Until they put out something
What?
a quarter as good as Paranoid or the fucking OK Computer.
What? I'm not even gonna put fucking. The Killers aren't even close to Radiohead.
No,
It's a different.
I love the Killers.
Killers are great. Fuck that. Dumb. Whoever said that. We're not saying you said it, but whoever said it, go fuck yourself. That's insane. That's insane.
I thought the same thing.
I don't know if you did, man. Alright, whatever. I don't know why that upset me so much. But I'm mad.
Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
You can't.
I don't disagree with Kanye, but there's something about listening to Yeezus that my brain goes why didn't you pick the Money Story? Why didn't you pick a better Soundhouse album? That's why I'm leaning Clipping. I think that is an incredible album.
I mean, that is a good album.
But
That's a really
if
good
you're gonna
album.
do Yeezus, which is just it's an experimental version of Soundhop. It's
Well,
Kanye
shit.
trying to do Soundhop.
Now
Why
that
not
you-
just do the real Soundhop?
Now that you brought up the Money Store.
Like,
But I hear that album a lot in the summer, honestly. That's more of a summer album.
There's something about you picking Soundhop and that makes me go, well, are you gonna put all Soundhop in the summer, or do you think that it kind of can go back and forth?
I feel like it just depends on the album, honestly.
Cause I don't know, Jesus. I don't know. You pick who you pick. You pick what you pick. I'd put The Life of Pablo in January before I put Jesus in January.
No, your Life of Pablo's more summery to me.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. There's something about putting Yeezus there that's weird to me, and I don't know why. You can do whatever you want. It just feels like the wrong month for it. I feel like there's a better Kanye album for this.
Maybe. I mean, Late Registration might be good, but
Ooh, is it because that's Diamonds Are Forever, isn't that what's the name of the song? It's Diamonds from Sierra Leone. Yeah, Diamonds Are Forever is the sample.
Yeah.
Man, there's something about that. It's very fucking sad. And you're like, man, this works. Also, Through the Wire also feels wintry because I imagine him, every time I hear that song, I imagine him driving home from a New Year's Eve party.
Oh yeah.
And it's snowy in Chicago, and he just flips into a ditch and shatters his jaw.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. Every time I'm like,
That's true. It does.
dummy. You big Dumbo.
Some of the songs on actually College Dropout are actually very wintry.
Yeah. Isn't Hey Ma on there?
No, it's on Late Registration.
Man, okay, no.
I feel more like
January.
I feel more like an 808s and Heartbreak though in
That's
January.
Again, I don't disagree with that one at all. I think 808s and Heartbreaks is far better than almost anyone gives it credit for.
It's a very good album.
I think the thing that's weird with Kanye is it's hard for him to put out bad music.
Yeah.
I think he makes a ton of shit. and I think that's why he has so many unreleased projects. But like, how is it that he can make a song where it goes poop to scoop, scoopity poop, whoopity scoop, scoop poop, poop to the scoop, poop poop poop,
Throw
poop,
that out.
and it's good.
It's
It's weird. It's weird baby talk, and I like it.
I mean, it's
Wow.
It's done in a very, like, good rhythm. Honestly,
It's insane that you can make that good.
yeah.
And he did it, and it was like a joke, but it's actually good.
It is, yeah.
He did a song with Lil Pump, and it was great. It's a
Yeah.
2-minute song with
Wait.
more Lil Pump than Kanye, and it's a good song. How? He has restorative powers.
Yeah.
He does. So,
It does, yeah.
you can give 808s and Heartbreak as much flack as you want. It's a good fucking album. It's a good fucking
It
album.
is a good album.
And I would put it in January before I put Jesus in January. But I'm not putting Kanye in my January, so it doesn't super matter. Ooh. You know what also feels kind of January? The Marshall Mathers LP.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I also kind of want to say Recovery though.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I would never put Recovery in one of these. Like, I just can't see myself doing it.
Yeah, I
If I only have
love
5 albums in a
Recovery, but I
month,
would-
which means I only have 60 in a year, I don't think Recovery can make that list.
I don't know. Recovery really falls apart at the end.
It
That's the
falls
problem.
apart.
It's so
Good
to
songs.
start with.
I actually enjoy the album quite a bit. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could.
Yeah. I love Eminem. If I put Eminem in any month, I wouldn't put Eminem in January, like, first off. But the month I put him in, I would put in either Marshall Mathers LP or Eminem Show.
So I got about like 3 so far. I got Outside.
Yeah, Outside by Bowie.
I got Indicud.
Indicud by Kid Cudi.
And I got the self-titled 1975.
Self-titled 1975. Those are locked in?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any that are locked in? Because Marvin Gaye, I still feel like is Marvin Gaye and Hunky Dory, I think, are both locked in.
The only one I'm gonna definitely say locked in right now is Bowie. Is Low.
So we all have
But-
a Bowie album locked in.
But probably gonna lock in that We're Drew album too.
What's the name of it?
It's the second album. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not gonna try it.
I am not gonna try, dude.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce Wardruna's second. I can't even say Wardruna. Wardruna's second album. Yeah, we're not even gonna try.
Yeah, we should have done.
It's
What?
great though.
We should have put the
Amazing.
albums above our heads about our rankings.
Well, I mean, if
Yeah. We'd have to talk about it
we
beforehand.
need to
yeah.
talk about it
Yeah,
first.
Exactly.
If we get to a point where we have these, if you want, at the beginning of next month, as a part of our chat for the next 5, we can then rank our albums out of the 5. If for some reason you want to do that, that's going to be hard as hell, because I'm picking albums that I really like,
Yeah.
and then to rank them amongst each other, even though they're vastly different, is going to make me cry. But I'll do it. I'll
Sure,
fucking
yeah.
cry. I don't care. I like. How do I compare Hunky Dory to what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, because I'm gonna put what's going on
Yeah.
above Hunky Dory, and I don't like that about myself. Why would I do that? Hunky Dory is a great David Bowie album. It's also super folky. I fucking love folk, and I would still put what's going on ahead
I
of
mean,
it.
What's Going On is like one of the best albums ever made.
It's one that ends up in a lot of the best albums ever made lists over and over again. I think it has and probably will for a long time.
Yeah.
And most of the time I don't agree with them. Most of the time it's like something that keeps coming up. It's usually just because it's like
Oh yeah.
popular for no good reason, and it has that nostalgic sound that someone likes, and you're like, Bing Crosby, get the fuck out of here, Bing. Yeah.
Hey, Bing.
Hey, Bing. Yeah. It's such a good album. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's not too this, it's not too that. It hits you with emotion. Like he's not even saying anything. Brother, why are you dying? And you go, fuck.
Yeah, you just like feel
You're like,
something like in
what?
your soul.
How did you say that in such a way that my heart feels like it's there? That wasn't my heart. My heart feels like it's there.
What's going on, Marvin?
So if you want, we can do that. We can rank them at the end. So like,
Oh god.
after this month, we can go back and rank them, and then I'll be upset. Or we can do it to where we do it like once every couple months, and we'll do January, February, March, and then we do the next 3 months. And that way, it's this video of us just crying about our top for each one of those, and then running those top 3 against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the year, there's gonna be 4, and be like, these, let's see, head to head.
Shit.
We can do it if you want, and I can be sad about it. I'm very open.
We'd
to
all
it.
be pretty sad
That
about it,
would
probably.
take, yeah. Yeah. That'd take it hard.
Yeah, because I don't want to know. Because like, what if the one I pick is my favorite album of all time?
And then you're like, shit, that's my favorite album.
Favorite album of all time, huh? Because I can't even imagine pretending I have one because there's too many good albums.
I used to always say I had one, but I don't.
I can't.
It's too hard. I have some that I say like this could be in like my top like 5, 10 albums, but like I could never like rank those.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Okay. Man, I want to lock more in. So I have. What's going on? I have Hunky Dory. It has to happen. I really want to lock in Clipping by Clipping, self-titled album. If you haven't heard Clipping by Clipping, go listen to it. Go on, you scamp. It's a great album. It's not that long. It's like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go listen to it. One of the best sound hop albums you ever heard. If you don't know what sound hop is, and you've heard Yeezus by Kanye, yes you do. You do know what sound hop is. If you've heard Death Grips, you know what sound hop is. If you know who David Diggs is, you could probably figure out what sound hop is. You probably could.
Love they love Snowpiercer.
Someone told me that the movie Snowpiercer is a sequel to Willy Wonka, like a spiritual successor to Willy Wonka, and I'm very curious to see the movie starring Captain America so that I can then go watch the show starring Thomas Jefferson.
I need to watch that show. I keep on saying
Wait,
it.
have you seen the movie?
I have not.
You gotta watch
Yeah.
the movie. I don't even know if they're related, but they have the same name, so they have to be.
And they came out
Like
too
somewhat
each other,
close to, yeah, there's no way there's a separation there. Also, you can't have Captain America play a lead in one and then have Thomas Jefferson play the lead in the other, and like it just makes sense.
Yeah,
It's America first, you know what I mean? Man. For your eyes only. It's just sitting there. I don't know. And then Blood on the Tracks is also sitting there. So Bringing It All Back Home is also sitting there, but I feel like that's more of like a November, you know, taking it home to the family. I feel like Desire is more of like a May or a March. I don't know. That's hard.
yeah.
It's crazy how hard this is.
It's
Like,
really hard.
because I could just list 5 and be done with it.
Yeah.
I would feel like
Then
a
you
jackass.
think about other albums.
And then later I'm like, oh, what about this album?
Yeah. What about?
What about Lana Del Rey? What about Frank Sinatra?
Oh, man.
What about Kendrick Lamar? What do you mean? What do you mean? Section 80 is a perfect January album. I don't know.
Oh,
I
shit.
don't know. There's too many.
Another album I want to throw like into the discussion.
Bro,
That I think would be a very good January album.
what is that?
Would be fucking the first. Well, all right. Are we counting compilations?
No.
We did
Because
before.
I did cheat and do that Rolling Stone London years.
Like, and the thing is, I'll let compilations in as long. Again, we talked about this as long as they're not ridiculously long. Because I know there's some things that it's a compilation. It's like 300 songs. I
Are
feel
they
like
not
that's
like just stuff from other albums?
so. It can be stuff from other albums, but it has to be like an official release. And so it has to be like, we released this stuff from these years. And it's like the best songs from these years. Not every song from these years, because then that'd be too fucking long.
Yeah, no Monkeys music sucks.
Oh my goodness, yeah, you definitely can't do that. So like, I think the one you picked last one was a little long. Like it was just shy
That
of 2
was,
hours
like,
or
just
something.
barely stretching.
And it was like, it's kind of like a double album range. And double albums are okay. So it depends. So I'm very open to accepting them. We already accepted one last month.
So the album I want to do is The Hateful of Hollow by the Smiths. It is
yeah.
a very good compilation, but it's like it's pretty much singles. Like You know, and they were all released as singles in England, and then they're like, we'll turn them into an album. So there's some really nice versions of some of my favorite songs on there, and I think that it's like very good in January, because like kind of just like the music to me is kind of like you just kind of like
Cover your mouth, dude.
oh
You got it. Yeah,
your music on there, it's kind of like you just like, you know, like just kind of like reflecting, and it's like, you know, like things like, you know, like no matter, like even if things let you down, you're just kind of like, well, you be like upbeat about it in a way and kind of carry on, like,
So we're kind of like moving forward,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like,
kind of.
yeah, you're kind of. Okay, I can see that.
So I'm not sure I'm gonna cement it in yet, but it's in the discussion right now.
What about Tapestry?
Ooh,
Ooh,
Tapestry.
Tapestry,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one. Oh man, I don't think that I officially posted our everything for December, because I kind of want to wait until we get to the next December to do it. So that's all for 2022. We pick every single month. But the Turbulent Indigo, Joni Mitchell, you're doing things to me I didn't understand. Great album. It's phenomenal. And like to me it's December, but like I could see it just cozying up next to Tapestry in January.
A lot of people say like Blue is like a more December album, and I think that's a very good January album too.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
I could really see that. Ooh, what's the James Taylor album that has Fire and Rain on it?
Sweet Baby James.
That's also, to me, that's like January, February, March, like it's the first quarter of the year.
I could see that.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Would you put any? I don't think I will ever put a Tom Petty album in one of these. But do you think you could think of a Tom Petty one that would really fit in here?
I think I could put Damn the Torpedoes, and like I don't know where I'd put. It could actually be good, this one, Damn the Torpedoes. But I think of that more of a summer album, but I would definitely.
Okay.
Like maybe like May-ish actually.
What about Frank Zappa?
Frank Zappa actually.
Uh-huh.
I could hear some Frank Zappa right now.
I could just see him being wet. Just imagine Frank Zappa wet, and you're like, I could listen to this. I could listen to this crazy man.
Freak Out. I'd go with Freak Out.
Oh, yeah,
Freak
Freak
Out
Out.
would be I think a very good January album. It's weird and like quirky and upbeat and, you know, just, but it's like also kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of cold feeling too.
Personally, I'd rather hear Freak Out in the summer, though, to be honest.
I'd rather hear, see, I think We're Only Out for the Money.
But like honestly, I'm like
summer one.
during the summertime, I'm like all about like the like hippie vibes of like all that stuff anyway.
So I was about to say, to me, all of the Grateful Dead sounds like January in like New Jersey, like in a field in New Jersey. That's what the Grateful Dead sounds like to me. I don't love the Grateful Dead. I know way too much about the Grateful Dead, and I've heard every Grateful Dead album, and I've heard hundreds of live albums, hundreds of concerts live on cassette. But I don't love the Grateful Dead.
I personally get Grateful Dead a lot more in the summer though.
Do you really?
Yeah, like
To me, I feel wet listening to the Grateful Dead.
I could definitely see both ways. I listen to more in the summer. Some of their stuff is like, I feel like very wintry for like what you would expect to be like more summery.
I mean, Working Man's Dead, I can see as a good winter album.
That's
Yeah.
That's definitely a good winter album.
Even Wake of the Flood.
Yeah, Wake of the Flood. Yeah.
Ooh.
Wake of the Flood. Actually, if I had to pick one, I feel like if I had to pick one, it'd probably have to be. Honestly, it might be the first one, like the self-titled Grateful Dead album for January.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, I don't think I'm gonna cement it, but I can actually. I can
Just
actually
imagine
see that,
Jerry
yeah.
just getting all sweaty, even though it's like raining. You're like, man, Jerry, you're so good. I wish they made an ice cream after you. And you're like, oh man, yes. An album that to me also feels January. I feel like I'm gonna put in March. This is another one that I'm really gonna be stuck on later. Is Blind Melon's self-titled album. I love it. I love this album. I think it's a phenomenal album. I think it's a great piece of art, and I think it just kind of encapsulates a very beautiful sound that you don't really see anywhere else. Ooh, Blind Melons.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Ooh, but I'm not gonna put it in.
You know what else would be a
January.
pretty good argument for January?
What?
Abbey Road. That's another good argument.
Here comes another one. There probably won't be a single Beatles album in any of mine.
It'll probably. I might give the White Album and actually I'll give Revolver. So yeah.
Yeah.
Probably give Beatles eventually, but like I don't know if I'd really cement Abbey Road, but I can hear that. I can hear myself hearing that a lot in January.
Are there any musicians that you think are going to end up, when we do this every month, throughout all 12 months on there twice?
Probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Any 3 times?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's where it starts to get hard. Any 4 times? 4 months?
Maybe, yeah.
Because for me,
It would take.
I could see Bob Dylan potentially doing that. I could see. I don't think J. Cole has I don't think he has 4 that I would do, but maybe 2. If you could count Revenge of the Dreamers, then it's probably gonna be 2 already.
4.
Do you have any ones you're like?
4, I could probably think of like Bowie or like Stones.
Ooh, Stones will probably get at least 2 on mine.
I think Bowie, Stones, and Nick Cave for me.
Oh, Nick Cave.
Even Springsteen too for me.
I don't know if Springsteen will get to 4. I could see him getting 2 or 3, but I can't see him getting to 4. Man, Springsteen for January. What would I pick?
I'd pick Born to Run personally for January.
Born to Run to me is like May.
You could see that too. But, like Born to Run, I feel for like especially like 10th Avenue Freeze Out, like all that. Like especially like one time it was like snowing in January and I just went on walks nonstop. It was like a few years ago and I heard nothing but like Springsteen while walking in the snow, and it was like January too, and like I heard Born to Run probably the most out of all of them.
I did used to listen to Springsteen when I would ride back and forth from college, and I was riding the most during winter terms. So that's January, baby. January, February, March.
I remember.
So much Springsteen.
I remember I first got Reading Smathbury Park on vinyl, like in the winter. And I heard the album like.
Do your
a lot.
whispering
That's so-
louder.
I heard that album like a lot, like one winter, because I was like so happy to get it.
Oh man. Ooh.
Am I gonna submit Born to Run? I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I might.
Are you gonna pop Born to Run in January?
I haven't decided
We
yet.
might have a
I
little
might.
mix up in here.
Yeah.
I feel like grunge often feels like this time of year. Do you guys feel like that? Is there any grunge that stands out to you?
I definitely think grunge is more of a summer thing.
That's crazy.
I
I
think
think grunge is more like a fall thing for me.
I think like
that will make sense.
I think it was like maybe like Sonic Youth or like Dinosaur Jr. or something like that.
Junior.
Yeah, definitely.
Dinosaur Jr. for January?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. They're not gonna make my 5, but man, that's nice.
That would.
That's
I don't know
nice.
if that was my 5, but they I wouldn't complain if they were like.
Sonic Youth either, but Dinosaur Jr. especially, man. Yeah.
Where you been?
I mean,
Or like without a sound. Even like Bug.
oh yeah. I think Where You've Been, especially like that album to me, like always feels very winter, but also very summer.
Okay.
I think Dinosaur and Junior is like that weird like in between band. Like you can put them like pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just nice.
Yeah.
It's just like the right sound. Okay, I'm gonna say a couple of bands: the Pixies, Garbage, Patti Smith.
Oh,
Ooh.
Pixies, I would do.
Do any of these stand out in January?
I could definitely see myself listening to Surfer Rose. in January.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what was it? Patti Smith and
Garbage, Pixies,
oh,
Patti Smith.
Garbage.
Or even
Garbage
the
is more of a
Zombies.
summer band for me.
I can hear Garbage more
Right.
like I think the first one I can see in like January, self-titled one.
I could me. I mean, I could kind of see that. I could.
Okay. Boingo Boingo?
And then Oingo Boingo, yes. Oingo Boingo, yes. I could hear Oingo Boingo all year round though. They're kind
Yeah.
of both for me.
There's this beautiful mid-range of weird that I just like a lot, and I could hear them all year round, but I feel like they don't quite make the mark of like if I could only listen to 5.
Yeah.
And then Patty Smith, you sound like
Patty
you were saying
Smith.
something.
Oh yeah, I said horses. Horses, like,
It's a good one.
that could get, like, thrown out there because that's, like, a great album. What was the other one?
I said, you got them all. You got them all. You got them all. And then, let me see, like, Gorillaz, the Monkees, are there any of these that you're like,
Ooh, monkeys.
With Gorillaz, the only Gorillaz album I would even consider putting in these would be Demon Days,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
And the Monkees, the only one that would probably be Bicep Chris, Capricorn Jones. I want to say Head. The problem with Head is that it has the track songs that aren't songs, and they're part of the album, which I like. But if I'm picking in my top 5,
I kind of like the weirdness of Head, like the weird stuff, and I added in. So I could probably put Head in January.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep naming people for us to talk about. Queen, Prince, Michael Jackson.
Queen definitely. Queen's definitely a very wintry band for me, and I was going to go with Sheer Heart Attack. It's a good one, the best one. But I could also be very persuaded to go with Jazz because Jazz has a very wintry feel to me.
Yeah.
And so I'll go with those. Prince.
So, like, out of all these ones we're talking about, you're still not putting any of these in your top 5 January.
Oh no, I'm thinking about them though.
Yeah, you're like,
Prince. Purple Rain, you could easily do January.
Purple
it's
Rain.
an easy January.
Yeah, Purple Rain actually. That, like, would I put in my top 5? I don't know, but I could
Would
definitely
you put it in
definitely
February,
put it
though?
in my top
I feel like Purple Rain's
I also-
February better.
But I also kind of want to say, like, Graffiti Bridge, too.
Moving to Michael Jackson, if I was going to pick a Michael Jackson for January, it would probably be History.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. That's a good album. That's a good album. Especially if you do it to where, like, it has the greatest hits with the new stuff.
Mhm.
Like, if that counts,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you do it, yeah.
that's a hard one. Because, like, he picked the ones that accent it well, and it's essentially like personal greatest hits. Which is way cooler than some random record label dude be like, well, this one did well, and 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 there you go.
And they throw them together.
I prefer personal greatest hits anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't very many.
I was gonna say, it's not a common thing.
Yeah.
Has Bob Dylan put together a greatest hits?
Bob Dylan did the Greatest Hits Volume 2 and 3 because they did the first Greatest Hits. After he got in his motorcycle accident, he couldn't make an album. So then he was all mad about it for a few years, and then he made Volume 2. He put, like, older songs, like,
Good stuff.
yeah, that he wanted to put on the original Greatest Hits.
Like Song to Woody? Was Song to Woody on there? I hope it is.
It's not on Volume 1.
I don't think I've listened to his greatest hits.
I've heard Volume 1 a lot.
I often, if I'm listening to discography, I often skip greatest hits because it seems silly.
Yeah.
Volume 1, though, Volume 1 has Positively 4th Street, which is only a single if you don't have the greatest hits.
That's not a common one. Like, I've probably heard that song only a few times.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, you beautiful man. I'll put Blood on the tracks on. I'll put Blood on the tracks. Blood on the tracks on. Blood on the
Who
tracks
else I want
on.
to solo out?
I'm only one.
I want to throw out, like, maybe, like, solo Stevie Nicks. That's, like, good, like, January stuff.
Oh, I could
Like,
definitely.
Other
like,
Side of the Mirror, like Wild Heart. Even Street Angel.
See, if I think I would never put Street
I
Angel.
like Street Angel.
I would, no, but I would put like Other Side of the Mirror. I could see that, but that's
You can
probably
put
one of
Belladonna,
the
too.
summer album. Belladonna would be the one I would probably think that'd be a good that's like a good wintry album.
Oh, why is Stream dying? Stream, why are you dying?
Oh, no.
Come back, Stream.
Don't die.
Come back.
Yeah.
Come back. Stream. 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 Alright, we're back. Boom, 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 boom. Man. I feel like I'm about to lock my name. I have What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. I have Hunky Dory by David Bowie. I think I have Clipping by Clipping. And then I think I have Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. And then I'm really leaning For Your Eyes Only. I'll put it in there. For Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes Only. J. Cole. I'm locking it down. Those are my 5 for this January. Ooh, that's a hard one.
I think I probably got my 5 down too.
You got your 5 down? Where are
One
they?
of them we
Going?
didn't talk about, but I just thought of it.
Talk
number
about it.
one's Outside.
Oh, we're numbering
sure.
them for some reason. All right, you put them in.
Then it's
Where you at?
right here.
I'm just about.
Yeah.
So number one,
Outside.
Outside with David Bowie.
Then it's probably Indicud by Kid Cudi.
Indica, Kid Cudi.
Self-titled 1975.
Stream time, but we're gonna keep talking like it's not. Self-titled 1975.
And Born to Run.
Born to Run.
Locking it in. And probably All We Know of Heaven, No We Need of Hell by Paris.
All we know of heaven and all we need to know of what?
All We Know of Heaven, All We Need to Know of Hell.
Need to know of hell by Paris. This kid wears a Paris beanie almost every time I see him. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Again, I don't agree with it, but that makes sense to me. You talking, bro?
Alright, well, I think the only album I'm gonna have out of my top 5 is, well, the only one I know for sure I think is Low.
The
And I
only
think-
one you know
yeah,
for sure?
I'm-
What? We've talked about like 50
Oh yeah, I
albums.
know, and they're all still in my consideration along with more. So I'm going with.
Remember,
Low
this
still.
isn't everyone.
Yes, I'm going with Woodrina. I'm going with.
And what we got? We're doing.
I'm going with Paranoid. I'm going with Paranoid.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm going with Blue. We talked about Blue earlier.
Blue by
Joni Mitchell.
By Joni Mitchell. That's 4.
And then, yeah, so that's 4.
Real
Number
and
5.
deal needs to get into this.
Number 5. I think I want to put a. There you go. I think I'm gonna do My Bloody Valentine. My New Love List.
Oh wow! I didn't expect that.
That.
I definitely didn't expect that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are locked in. We'll go back and watch this to make the thing, or I'll just remember which ones they are, and we'll put that up on the website. That will be up on the website. Go check out the TwitchFAM.com. We'll post a link somewhere. It'll be very visible. You will be able to get to it. The TwitchFAM.com. But now I kind of want to at least start talking about. We're not locking any of these in. If you could only listen to 5 albums every January for the rest of Januaries that you live, how different is your list going to be?
It's gonna be.
I think mine's going to be. I think it's going to keep maybe one of those albums.
Or a
Probably.
few.
I don't think I'll keep more than one. Maybe I'll keep.
See, like,
I don't know.
the problem is, then yeah, Low would be
Okay.
locked in because, like, would Low be, like, because I could pick any Bowie album. So it's like, would it still be Low? I don't know. That's a tough question.
I mean,
I
you could-
think the only one that might actually be in would be actually probably.
I was thinking like
Maybe
Black
I'll
Star,
just-
like Station to Station.
That Station to Station and Black Star both be good ones.
Like Black Star's like a perfect like one, especially like with the anniversary thing.
That's true. Yeah, Black Star would actually be a very good one for this year. Also, Lodger.
Oh yeah, Lodger.
Lodger feels very wintry to me. And actually, Heroes.
The whole I think to me Lodger sounds more like a spring album though.
I don't know. I definitely get a very cold feel from Lodger, but I could see it getting warm up too.
Yeah.
We got I think I would say Loveless though.
All of
Like
this.
Loveless would probably actually like how can I take it out out of January? Like if I took it out of like the only way I would take it out of January is if I was putting it in a different month, which you can make an argument for other months, but I'm really feeling January right now.
I'd probably kick out Indicud if that was forever because that's like I'd want to pick a different Cudi album if I was gonna do that. If I would do that, because like I also kind of want to say Man on the Moon too.
Man on the Moon.
Even 3 to be honest. But just
I don't know.
I'm just like I just hear a lot more Cudi in like wintry stuff.
The problem is that I just keep thinking of like other random albums that like I could have just thrown in there, and that's why I just think my list would be so different.
Mine would probably change a little bit too. Yeah.
Like actually, another one I was thinking that I never said was Nothing Shocking by Jane's Addiction.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's like actually pretty. That's like the most wintry I think of all their albums.
What Jane's Addiction album?
Nothing Shocking.
Okay.
And I was saying how that's like I
Forever makes it hard. Because I feel like what's going on stays. I feel like it's just a good way to start your new year. I don't know if anything else does. Because I might pick a different Bowie album.
Oh yeah, I thought that. I definitely probably would.
I love Hunky Dory, but like maybe I feel like I'd have to like I have to sit down
You go.
and listen to every Bowie album again to lock it in.
I'd probably have to do like I'd have to pick Quadrophenia if I was gonna lock it in.
Oh, Quadrophenia would be a good choice.
Oh, I don't know why, but now I'm feeling like I want the Who in here.
Yeah.
Like ooh, like
Quadrophenia like really takes me back to like middle school, especially in like the coldness of it. And I heard like Quadrophenia a bunch.
I always hear. I did like this thing where like fucking in like early high school where like I'd always listen to Love Rain or Music with Rain. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I always go back.
I feel you gotta pick Quadrophenia for that.
Yeah.
It rains a lot in January.
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of our rainier months.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's would you put a Led Zeppelin in here? Would you put a why can't I think of his name? Who's the guy from Cream? Who's the guy from
Eric Clapton.
We put Eric Clapton in here.
I
Put
would-
Jimmy in here.
I would.
I
I
was
would
Smashing Pumpkins in there.
Oh.
Adore.
Yeah. Would you put you put Smashing Pumpkins? There's a lot.
I could. Yeah.
Like maybe I'd put Pearl Jam in here. Like I don't know. I don't know. The Forever is so much harder.
Yeah.
And like we really need to think about this one and lock it
Definitely.
in and have it done by the end of this month. And then we can reassess every year and see how dumb we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be new
But
albums.
I don't think we'll ever put. That's true. I mean,
There's gonna be new albums, and I don't. Can you imagine an album blowing the albums that we pick out of the water enough?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hard sell.
Some of these ones though, I feel like are staples though, and they like couldn't be like blown out by other
Definitely.
ones unless like maybe there's something I don't know.
I don't know either. I kind of want like in my head I'm like Ghost of Tom Joad.
Oh, Ghost of Tom Joad. Yeah,
Ghost of
definitely.
Tom
Yeah,
Joad.
that album's so good. Yeah.
That just
It's a really good
January
January album.
feels January to me.
Yeah.
It feels like a sad January.
Dry Lightning, especially.
Honestly, the Bruce Springsteen album, I think like the most January one would be for me would be Darkness at the Edge of Town. Definitely.
I don't know.
I thought Darkness Gonna Town's more of a summery one for me.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think
It's like a late and sweaty summer night.
Yeah.
And you're just ooh, yeah.
And as he says in Racing in the Street,
Uh-huh.
summer's here and the time is right for racing in the street.
Yeah.
that in there.
You're man.
So I don't know.
That's
A lot of songs there.
Greetings Nasbury Park. I feel like is more January to me too because like, it feels like a new beginning because it's like the beginning of him, and it's such a good beginning.
You know what else I want to add to like January too?
What?
Buckingham Nicks. Yeah, that was.
I don't know what that was.
That album,
It's like the first like.
pretty good.
It's like it's the only Buckingham Nicks and before like Lindsay and Stevie joined Fleetwood Mac.
Oh.
And like it did really bad, so that's why. So, but like it's like a great album. It's like
Is
really
it?
good appreciation. I really love it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I
wouldn't
think
say
it's great,
It's pretty
yeah.
good though. But
Pretty good.
I enjoy it. I don't think it's better than any of the
But you're more of
next
the-
5 Fleetwood Mac.
You're more of like you really enjoy hearing Christine though. That's the thing. It's your thing.
I mean, I do really enjoy hearing Christine, but
Too much Buckingham Nicks is too much for you.
No, I love Lindsay and
Yeah.
Stevie's solo stuff a lot. Like especially
Not Law and Order.
Not Law and Order. That's trash. Worst fucking thing Lindsay Buckingham's ever done.
That's amazing.
He'd agree with you.
Is there any metal besides like that Nordic metal that screams down here?
No, Wardrina's actually not metal.
You were talking about Nordic metal earlier.
No, they're like more like. That's how.
Is it like a Nordic folk?
Yeah, it's like folk.
Are they the
like
whisper
kinda-
folk stuff?
Like whisper folk. Oh no, they don't.
I don't do that. Okay, I'm just checking.
They like.
I don't know
chant.
Wardrina at all.
They
They
don't
chant?
Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
Like sometimes, but a lot
Not
of it's just
Wardrina.
instrumental.
Oh man.
There's like one acapella song actually. It's kind of good.
Would you put Towns Van Zandt in January?
I'd put Town Van Zandt any month, but
If I put them in January over any month.
I could do the self-titled one.
I see that's more of a summer one for me.
Really? I think our Marble Mountain's probably the most summer one.
Nah, I see. I would put
Mother Mountain I'd put in like fall, and I'd put self-titled in like April.
What about the Lake Greytown band?
Oh yeah, that definitely has a winter feel.
That one does kind of land in January.
I think that would be.
That one kind of lands in January. Ooh.
Or even
wow.
Flying Shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Even for the sake of the song though.
Yeah.
I want to do, like in my head, like I want a Diana Ross, I want a Whitney Houston, I want a Tina Turner, but I don't know if any of them have a cohesive enough album for me to do it with.
Oh yeah.
Like that's amazing. But like there's no cohesion in a lot of these people who are like incredible like singers. Like I feel like the singers often have some of the worst albums.
Oh yeah. That's how I feel about like. I just like a lot of like. A lot of like 70s music that's like not rock or soul.
A lot of 70s music stuff. Yeah.
Or soul.
I mean, there kind of seemed to be this period where the stuff that people would hear was just the stuff that was made for radio, which means it was just the stuff that was made by like a team of people, which means that it wasn't a good album.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the thing. And I feel like to find the other stuff, you have to like do deep dives and get the stuff that wasn't released widely and stuff like that. Where it's easier now, but the when people were discovering, say, the Whitney Houstons and all of these different people,
The Donna Summer.
the Minnie Ripertons, and like I think you just get stuck with what was popular and you ended up liking it no matter what.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can go back and be like, oh man, Bobby Humphries, holy shit, Bobby Humphries. And back then people were like, who the fuck is Bobby Humphries? And people were still like, who the fuck is Bobby Humphries?
Don't want to pay $6 to find out.
Go listen to Bobby Humphries. Go. It's free. Just do it. No one's gonna hurt you. Would you put a Mac Miller album in January?
Ooh.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one for January,
It's a hard one.
I'd probably have to go with Swimming, to be honest.
Probably such a good album.
Because like it's like kind of like a reflection album.
It is
like,
a reflection album.
So you're like,
Oh.
what can I do to change what happened that last year to like increase what happened to make this year better?
You know what's terrible is like you saying that makes me kind of think that swimming might end up on like every January, which is a crazy thought.
Yeah.
Like I like the album less than I like For Your Eyes Only, but I think that it will last longer. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I think it will be I think that I will enjoy it longer in life than I will enjoy For Your Eyes Only. At least in that way. Which I think is a funny thing to say, but I truly mean it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the thing to think about when you're thinking of like albums for every January, for every February, for every March. Like you better enjoy them when you're 50. You better enjoy them when you're 75.
And that's why in my head, like when we're doing this, I'm always just thinking about what records do I own, because that's always my thought. Like if I'm buying an album, like if I'm like paying to like own it, I'm like
Exactly.
It's something I want to listen to forever.
I may have said this before, fun fact about me, I try not to own any records because I will then buy a record player and then I will buy so many records that I will go into debt. And I'm not a fan of debt.
Fun fact of what I almost did this for Christmas for you actually. I actually got an extra record player and I almost gave it to you. But like
No, you're
It's
not
just
allowed,
as
you're not allowed to give me a
but
record
like
player.
then it broke so I just ended up throwing it away. So
Do not bring me. Do not give me a record.
thank
player.
goodness for that actually.
Do not give me a record. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. You think I can handle it?
Yeah.
I can't.
No, I'm not.
You
No.
see me in every rap section of every record. I'm like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And ooh.
Just buy out the rap
And
section.
the rap stuff you gotta buy new for without a print, and it's like way too much money. And
Yeah,
that's why
so
I
dumb.
don't have that much
It's
stuff.
so dumb.
Why would I need more?
See how much my rap records go for right now. It's crazy.
Some of my, yeah.
I wonder if Slick Rick's album has any value.
Yeah, it does.
Dude!
I should have bought the reissue because it was out of the record store, and
I remember seeing
couldn't-
it.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to buy this album, but it's in print now. I wasn't like I'm gonna get it in the near future. It's fine because there's always at least 10 records, like brand new records at least in that store that I always want.
Yeah.
So I gotta like pace myself of like
what I can get, and that album, of course, everyone wants that album, and it kept selling, and then it went out of print,
It's a
and
good album.
now it's like
Adventures
$100,
of Slick Rick.
and it's gonna go up if they don't print it again.
Oh, what a good record. It's crazy how good that record is and how bad his other records are. Because it's a great record. Maybe it's all he had in him. He could probably rap, but maybe it's all he had in him creatively. Oh,
Yeah.
Slick Rick.
Maybe.
Without Slick Rick, there would be no Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There would be no Snoop Dogg without Slick Rick. There might be some weird guy named like Snoopy or something. Who's just not as good. Oh man, but like, there's so many things in especially early Snoop Dogg that is literally just biting Slick Rick, but well.
Yeah.
So well that he's
So-
better than Slick Rick. That's how good he's biting Slick
Yeah.
Rick. It's crazy to watch.
Oh yeah. Those first two albums. Oh, so they're like, yeah. So good.
Oh man. Oh man. There's a number of rap albums I feel like sit in here well. I kind of feel like Tupacalypse Now sits in here pretty well. I feel like Ready to Die kind of sits in here well. I feel like Ready to Die to me is more December than it is January, but I feel like it's there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that's hard.
Yeah.
Oh. Are there any things are there any albums that you would automatically take out of your top 5 for this January that you wouldn't put in your other top 5?
I'd definitely kick out the 1975 in Paris. I definitely would.
You know what that is? That's some understanding.
The only one I said that I know I would keep would have been Loveless, My Bloody Valentine. That's the only one I know, like, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
But the only way I would take it out would be if I moved it to a different month.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, what's going on? But I feel like to not put in Bill Withers' first album, like, I would need to make sure, again, that, like, what you said, that it's going into a different month.
Yeah.
Because it has to be. It has to be. But I feel like What's Going On and Bill Withers' self-titled album, like, it might just make the whole vibe of January that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I want a little bit more diversity, and that's fair. I don't think Clipping would stay. I really want it to stay. I just don't think it would. Because I don't think at 60 years old I'm going to like Clipping the way I like Clipping now. I really don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I love Clipping. I think that, like, my ears aren't going to work the same way, and, like, the sound quality of it's just going to be like, I don't want to hear that.
That would be sad.
I think, it sounds sad, but I think there's something to it. So, yeah, I think Clipping would drop out, even though, good album. Go listen to Clipping. David Diggs will thank you, because he makes no money off his music.
That's why he's in movies.
That's why he's in a TV show, and he's in movies, and, you know, he's doing his thing. I feel like I'd pick a different Bob Dylan album. I don't know why. I
I'd
feel like
wanna-
it's changed.
I'd want to kick out Kid Cudi, but I really don't want to.
Alright.
I mean,
You kick out Kid Cudi.
I really don't want to, but I feel
I
like I
feel
would.
like
I wouldn't.
Would you change the Kid Cudi album?
I feel I would, but like maybe I'd keep maybe I'd put maybe Man on the Moon, or even like Satellite Flight.
Dude, what about Speeding Bullet, whatever 3? Maybe
That's a
Bullet.
great album too. I bet you if I was like 6 years old, I'd probably hate it.
What?
I wouldn't like it as much as I
Weird
used to.
little tangent. Why did that album get such a bad review? Like, why do people hate that album so much?
Because they just wanted, like,
Because they wanted
to do
Kid
the same
Cudi?
thing, yeah.
Because they just
Yeah.
wanted it to be Kid Cudi. It's a good album.
A lot of people hate everything after Man on the Moon, besides maybe Man on the Moon 3. Don't really hear good things about Indica or Satellite Flight.
I don't care about Kid Cudi, but I've heard all of his music, and it's good. It's not consistent.
I like Kid Cudi. I don't love Kid Cudi at all by any means.
I mean, Connie gave him a gift with Kids See Ghosts.
Sure, Kid See Ghosts is his best thing now.
I don't know if I agree with
I
that,
don't agree with that either.
but it's good. It's really good. Oh man, you know what sounds like January to me? Yay. The album Yay. The album that no one liked. Yay.
That album-
I love that album.
I love that album.
It's short, it's sweet, he cared, you know? Kanye always cares. I read a review that put, what did they put at the top? It was ranking all of Kanye's album, and it put Ye as the worst album that Kanye's put out, and that's a hot pile of trash.
Yeah, that's just
Hear me out right now. Donda is worse. Donda is worse. Donda might be his worst project.
I was actually,
I feel
Donda
Graduation.
might be. It's
It
still
had
what?
some moments, but like,
It's still what?
Graduation.
Okay, I thought you said Labor Decision. It is
No,
Graduation.
yeah.
Graduation is 100% his worst project, which is why it's so weird to me that it was at the top of this list, and it's at the top of almost every Kanye list. I don't get it.
It has some good songs. It has
Yeah.
some very good
I
songs.
wouldn't put it on my top.
Is
of
Gold
any
Digger?
list.
No, I thought Labor Decision.
I wouldn't put it on top of my list.
Graduation, yeah.
It doesn't come close.
Yeah.
Because conceptually, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It delivers the worst. It's him running out of ideas from College Dropout and Late Registration. Then he has Graduation, because it's this 3-album thing, and you can tell it's him like spinning.
You're
tracks.
like, why did I keep the same theme? And then
Yeah.
That's why he threw it all away after.
Man, and it's a beautiful thing, even though that's the case, because it's one of the best rap trilogies. And you might be like, what the hell's a rap trilogy? It's when you have 3 rap albums that have the same thematic thing. Another one is Bastard, Goblin, Wolf rap trilogy. If you think that I'm wrong, go fuck yourself.
I know, they all have very, very.
Get the blueprint.
things, Yeah.
1, 2, 3, baby.
And then, yeah, they change it
You
up.
know what I
like that.
consider a rap trilogy, but it's not?
What?
Like Macadelic to like Faces, because like they're like consecutive after each other and they're all psychedelic vibe, and the rest don't really have like much of a psychedelic vibe like the other 3 do.
I disagree with you completely.
Yeah.
I disagree with you completely. But I get what you're saying. Man in the Moon history, right?
Yep.
Man, there you go. They like to do trilogies.
Yeah. Don't forget about Logic's trilogy.
I can talk about Logic for a while. And here's the thing about Logic. Phenomenal rapper. Phenomenal rapper!
Yeah, some good stuff.
Biting ass motherfucker. Like, so heavily that it's insane. Go listen to Logic's first album. Go listen to it. Really pay attention to the beats. Really pay attention to the thematic cues. Really pay attention to the way that the album goes out. Then go listen to Good Kid, Mad City. By the way, Good Kid, Mad City is on its 10th year of being in the top 10 albums on the Billboard Hot 100.
Nice.
Corey's so happy right now.
10th year! What?
That's.
You hope and drank for
Special.
10 years, bro. It's also crazy that album's 10 years old.
I know.
Man.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, just got it for the first time on record at Christmas, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. I don't know. I think we've kind of exhausted the January thing. We have them locked in. Do you remember your 5?
Yep.
Sam?
Outside
Bye.
by David Bowie, Indica by Kid Cudi, self-titled 1975, and Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen, and Paris, All We Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell.
Okay. All right. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. Clipping by Clipping. Oh no. Did I forget my other 2? Oh. David Bowie. Hunky Dory. Oh man. Oh, For Your Eyes Only. J. Cole. There you go.
David Bowie, Low. Second We're Doing album. I'm not gonna try to butcher.
We're dreaming. Album 2.
My Bloody Valentine, Loveless.
I like your
Joni Mitchell, Blue.
Blue by Jam. It's a great one.
And there's one more. Oh yeah, it is Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
So those are albums. 5 albums for this January that if we could only listen to 5, he would only listen to his, I would only listen to mine, he would only listen to his. We are going to put them up on the website. Go check out the website, the twitchertm.com. As always, on the Twitcher, we have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, a wonderful whatever you may be having. We got Jared here. Thanks for stopping by. We got Brightline over here. Thanks for stopping by. And we will see you next time.